Gusto nyo bang makilala ang inyong business, kumita, sumikat at maging patok online or TV? Get more customers and grow your business. Advertise now.
From the studios of Leader News Philippines, Errol Dakame of Kamaong, Asero. Si Errol Dakame, ang Kamaong Asero.
Welcome back sa ating pangdaigdigang broadcast ng programang Kamaong Asero dito po sa Leader News Philippines and telecasted on Pinoy Extreme Channel. Muli, good morning po sa inyong lahat. Special episode po tayo sa ating programa at ito po yung tinatawag nating plataforma. As promised mga kaibigan, nasa studio po natin ang isang mamang ang puso po ay nasa mga maliliit na kababayan. Nasa bayan, ano po. At mama na malawak ang pananaw sa mga bagay-bagay, especially sa mga serbisyong dapat na ibibigay po sa taong bayan, ano po. Mama na hindi po naman basta-basta may pinag-aralan, ngayon po siya ay isang batikang abogado at marami na po siyang natulungang mga tao na kailangan ng kanyang serbisyo na hindi po sinisingil ng bayad halos at marami pa mga bagay-bagay na napatunayan na ang kanyang kagandahan po ng loob at pagnanais pong makapaglingkod sana. So this time mga kaibigan, muli po niyang inahahain ang kanyang sarili bilang kandidato sa pagkaalkalde sa Baguio City. We're happy and honored to have in our studio sa Leader News Philippines at sa programang Kamaong Asero sa ating episode na plataforma which is telecasted on Pinoy Extreme Channel, Attorney Jose Jomol Molintas. Good morning, sir. Welcome po sa Leader News Philippines studio.
Good morning, Errol. I'm glad to be with your program this morning.
It's our honor, sir. All right. Sa mga hindi pa ho masyadong o hindi na masyadong natatandaan, sino ba si Jomol? Sige, sir. You have the floor.
Thank you. Si Jose Molintas or Jomol ang tawag ng mga kaibigan natin ay isang tubong Baguio City, isang Ibaloy, nag-eskwela sa mga ordinaryong public elementary school sa Lukban and became a cadet officer sa St. Louis University, and after graduation, we went to teach at the Philippine Military Academy, teaching natural sciences, constitution, and public administration. And at the same time, nag-aaral tayo ng gabi. We studied law and finished law, became a lawyer, and eventually tayo yung legal aid lawyer dahil tayo naging presidente. We have been giving free legal assistance, and eventually we were tapped to represent indigenous peoples United Nations and come up with this declaration on the rights of indigenous peoples. That was for almost 15 years that we've been working with indigenous peoples. Eventually natapos natin yung national na declaration, international na declaration on the rights of indigenous peoples. Tapos tayo po naman ay in-appoint ng United Nations to be the representative of the Asian indigenous peoples sa 5-member committee ng tinatawag na expert mechanism on the rights of indigenous people po. And from there, we also ran as councilor in 2004. We won, and we became aware of the issues involved in regarding the running of the local government of Baguio City. Kaya tayo na-encourage, na dismaya sa mga nangyayari, privatization ng mga public properties in favor of big corporations, denying the local people of the right to make use of our property. So, yun ang aking nakita na mali yata ang pinatutunguhan ng ating gobyerno. It's going towards privatization and favoring the rich rather than the poor.
Apo. Alright, yan po ang ating bisita, Attorney Jomol. At Attorney Mayor, naging konsyahal ka na po, ano? Nagbabago ang panahon, no? Nagbabago ang panahon, ang pag-unlad po ng bagyo ay hindi napipigilan. And yet, we really have to protect the identity of Baguio City. At yung identity ng Baguio City po ay, of course, hindi yan pwedeng itago, kundi ang pagiging indigenous ng karamihan sa tao at yung kultura na dapat ma-preserve natin. And that includes the lands, etc., etc. So how do you plan to protect the Baguio itself while we are open for continued development?
Since the earthquake in 1990, nagkaroon ng mga forum for the people, was given the break to look at what's going to happen. That is in 1990, ano po?
Yes, sir.
And because of the fact na Baguio City was just planned for 25,000 by the Americans when they wanted to develop Baguio City. And over the years, we've been into developing the city until it was overdeveloped and overpopulated. That's why symptoms of urban decay and overpopulation is there, including the loss of our pine trees. Whereas before we were known as the city of pines, eventually we see informal settlement taking over our pine trees, and at the same time, as we lose our trees, we lose also the environment, the temperature that we used to enjoy, the coolness of Baguio.
Tama.
So yun ang ating nakita, and the proposal then was to convince our neighbors to be part of our development so that we can share development with them. That's why we had the original plan of a Baguio, La Trinidad, Itogon, Sablan, and Tuba as the blissed development idea or concept at the time, which unfortunately is only discussed during election period, and after the election,
Pag naupo na sila, wala na.
opo, puro MOA signing na lang, and pagkatapos dan hindi kinukonsider ng mga leaders natin na sa Baguio City ang sentiment ng neighbor.
Yeah.
Na kasi ang priority ng Baguio pag tumingin sa mga neighbors ay hinahanap kung saan pwedeng magbasura. Kasi napakalaki rin ng problema sa basura, at saka yung paggamit ng resources nila like water. Hindi nila nakikita na partnership ang trato ng Baguio City. Parang bully ang Baguio City na gustong isolve ang problema niya pero ipapasa ang problema sa ibang mga munisipyo.
Sa loob ng Baguio, therefore, Mayor Jomol, ay kailangan dito pa lang mismo masusolve na po yung problema. You mentioned the garbage problem. Until now, wala pong solusyon sila sa problema.
Opo, nung konsyal po ako, I've been studying the garbage problem. So I even went to observe what was happening in Payatas, Quezon City, where there was a trash slide. When I came back, I saw the problem at Irisan Dam site that we are violating the law. We are not doing what we should do, like convert it into a dump facility in accordance with law. It was an open dump site, neglected, that if we were not to do something about it, sabi ko, Payatas may happen. And they were laughing at me. And in 2011, it did happen. Nahulog yung dump site and may namatay. So all the garbage were spewed all around, and we started spending 100 million and in clearing it, and then later on 150 million in hauling this garbage out of Baguio City. So until now, the solution of the incumbent officials is just to haul the garbage towards Urdaneta or at one time sa Clark. So yun ang sa atin na rason kung bakit we have been challenging their leadership. We represented the opposition. Unfortunately, we were unable to win the elections. But in terms of alternative solution to the garbage problem, instead of just throwing away garbage, we were proposing a zero waste management. And sa zero waste management, we could easily convert the recyclables into to money. Yun ang ating paningin para ma-reduce ang volume, because Baguio City produces an average of 500 metric tons a day. Around 250 from the market alone, and then 250 metric tons from the barangays.
There should be a holistic approach, Mayor.
That's right.
Apo. Kasi kung medyo higpitan lang taga ng DNR, marami nang nakulong na taga City Hall.
Oo nga, dapat natanggal na sila noon pa.
Dapat natanggal na sila noon pa. At nakapalit ka na. Now, this is a serious matter, yung solid waste management. Ano po?
Opo.
At hindi po nila inaayos sapagat siguro may pera sa basura. Alam naman ng taong bayan yan na karamihan sa mga LGU, hindi nila inaayos ang problema sa basura. Instead, nag-a-allocate sila ng milyon-milyon a year. Kasi nandun po yung totoong pera sa basura. So, kung magiging mayor ka, sir, no? Zero waste, you're talking about zero waste management. Ako, I would add, let's entertain technology.
Yes, in some areas, maybe we could go for waste to energy. But the priority should be in order to come up with a culture where people really segregate their garbage.
That's first, no?
Yes, and we need to be creative and use incentive approaches so that we can create the culture that we want in terms of solid waste management, because the culture we have is very bad, where we mix up all our trash from the kitchen and from the comfort room, and it therefore creates a very bad odor. So even the people, we have volunteers doing actual segregation, but that is very difficult for them to handle, since from the household dapat ang pinanggagalingan yan.
Yeah.
And it's also difficult if only one or several people will do it. It must be led by the city government, as I said, through incentive means of doing it. So we were thinking of helping the people who are volunteers. We have garbage trucks. Ang empleyado lang ng syudad ay yung driver.
Tapo.
Meron 5 up to 7 na nagbo-volunteer, and they survive only through the recyclable materials. But unfortunately, they are only limited to those that are easily sellable, like plastic bottles, like glass bottles, and the like. But the rest, wala silang makuha na convertible immediately sa kaso. These are the ones that are thrown away towards Urdaneta, where we spend an average of 100 to 120 million in howling and tipping fee alone.
If we do this, itong idea mo, Mayor, we will save a lot of money na dapat ay mapupunta po sa basic social services.
We do not only solve, we make money out of the garbage po.
And we avoid spending so much.
That's right. It's double expenditure on the part of the government. They do not make money out of the garbage. They throw it together with money.
Tama po.
So, yun nga, we need to be creative and incentive. Kako nga, siguro to encourage people to pick up plastics instead of throwing them away, because it's useless as far as they are concerned. I've been offering a possibility of changing 1 kilo of plastic with 1 kilo of fruits.
Why not?
1 kilo of rice together with 1 kilo of vegetables. Because my concept of leadership and governance is that we do not just solve problems. We avoid other problems that are attached. You know, one of the problems we have is poverty. People do not have access to livelihood. They do not have access to food. So we want to solve the garbage problem. We want to avoid malnutrition too. Our people has children and they cannot give them vitamins, so we give vegetables and fruits in order to avoid malnutrition. We also give food so that there will be no hunger. So at the end of the day, the money of the government is spent towards giving food and avoiding a bigger problem like being sick. And at the same time, we are solving the garbage problem. Kaya sabi mo nga holistic. That's why I agree very much sa observation mo, ka Errol.
Opo. Alright. Naalala mong may kinento ako sa iyo, si Attorney Batas Mauricio went up here. And after a while, at mamasyal sila ng ilang araw, pababa na siya, nag-text sa akin, Errol, hindi na ako babalik dyan. Sabi ko, bakit, idol? By 20 years ago, ganyan na yan. Lalo ngayon pumangit. Pumangit daw, sabi niya, meaning, may problema, sir. May problema. So, kayo po, kayo matagal na nagmamasid. Ano po ang mga gusto nyo pang maliban sa basura? Ano pa ang mga gusto nyong ayusing problema ng Baguio City?
Ako ay naniniwala na human rights and governance should come hand in hand. Simply, human rights means at the end of the day, your money should be spent to address the basic needs of the people, like the food that you're talking about, like the health of the people, sa education ng ating people. Marami pa rin problema dyan, and eventually the housing problem. How do we fight yung tinatawag nila dati na squatters or informal settlers? My answer to that is provide the basic need like housing to the people so that they don't have to go for informal settlements. People go for squatting because there is no housing provided by the city. And my advantage being an Ibaloy is to be able to talk with the neighboring towns sa Baguio, to talk with them that we should have genuine partnerships. So, for instance, I will declare a moratorium on subdivision making in Baguio City, make it more difficult for those who really want to cut our trees and be able to come up with a subdivision. Kasi ang effect nun, as they build subdivision in Baguio City, only the rich can afford subdivisions in Baguio. So we are welcoming more people. Whereas if we build them around city of Baguio, we can offer it to our people, socialized housing,
Right.
rent-to-own type, so that as they are renting 5 to 10,000 pesos in 1 month in Baguio City, they will be able to get a title of the house and lot that they are occupying, and then we agree to share in the building of road networks going out of Baguio City, because that is our main problem. We are overcrowded to the tune of 450 to 500,000 people, whereas we were planned for 25,000. That's why all the symptoms of over congestion is there. That's why very difficult to be asked how do you intend to solve the traffic problem. You cannot solve the traffic problem if we
Simply
are,
like that.
yes. We need to have some approach of decongesting the
Tama.
city, including building of schools should be done outside of Baguio City. Cemeteries should be done outside of Baguio City, so that eventually we are sharing the progress to the neighboring towns and be able to revive Baguio City and make it as a city of pines all over again. For example, if we say we want to make our rivers be alive again, it's actually a very difficult task, but we have to start somewhere.
Tama.
So one of my program is to reorganize yung City Environment Parks Management Office, SEPMO. Napakadami ng role niya eh. We need to have a separate City Environment and Natural Resources Officer to be the one to start propagating the trees and identifying areas where we could plant and not cut any more trees. We need to have also a park officer like Burnham Park. There should be a responsible officer, kasi if you go around Burnham Park, it has been neglected after several years. The trees that were
Alam mo ba sa reaction ng mga kaibigan ko, may mayor ba rito sa ano? May mayor ba sa Baguio City?
That's right.
Because Burnham Park is the window of the Baguio City.
That's right. Marami ng mga naputol na natumba sa mga typhoon, and yet andun pa rin yung stumps, ni walang attempt to remove the stump and then change it with a new one. Yun ang ating nakita, kaya dapat may ibang officer na in charge doon. Meron din tayong clean air officer to be able to monitor the clean air in the Central Business District. At meron din tayong mga solid waste management officer separately with the other officers, as well as one liquid waste management officer, so that our rivers should be spared from being used as a as a sewer line. How can we clean Balili River if all the rivers of Baguio City had been converted into a sewer line? So we need to have separate sewer lines and save fresh waters from being included here. So those are the feedbacks that we got from several people. They're all concerned also. Unfortunately, we have a government in the city of Baguio that is no longer being creative in approaching this problem. They've been so used in just winning the election, but we haven't seen progress. That's why myself, I may be a lawyer, but I have to study these problems to be able to be of help.
Ikaw lang ang narinig kong may focus sa nature. Kasi basically, the tourism industry grows because ano ba ang pinupuntahan sa Baguio City? It's the climate, it's the environment. If we continue to degrade and to destroy the environment, including the rivers, the trees, wala na tayong catch, wala na tayong attraction.
That's right.
Apo. So, good that we can have a leadership under you, hopefully, na panunumbalikan po yung sigla ng natural na yaman natin, natural na kalikasan, na matagal nilang kinaligtaan. They were busy looking for investors, building buildings. There's money daw, sabi, may pera daw doon. So, itong mamang kausap ko ngayon, hindi ito nakatingin sa pera. Nakatingin po ito sa general welfare po ng mga taga Baguio City.
Alam mo, Errol, nung bata tayo, we were lucky to have seen our rivers alive, full with the tadpoles, the frogs, and also meron tayong tinatawag na jojo dito, mga Japanese kinds of fish, na they only thrive on fresh water. That is my dream, na dapat mabigyan ng chance sa mga kabataan natin in the future na makita yan. And we have to start somewhere. And unfortunately nga, this government had been into too much commercialization, too much tourism. Wala na yung, even the concept of panagbenga was all for commercialization. Whereas ang tingin natin ng original na panagbenga was to support our barangays. Come up with permanent na natural na flowers na bibisitahin ng mga bisita together or amongst the trees. Ang binibisita na lang nila yung mga parada, mga float,
Paninda,
mga paninda, na even the barangays would not be supporting anymore kasi nga it does not trickle to their improvement. So dapat permanent ito so that people can come any time of the year.
Hindi lang Panagbenga Festival.
Hindi lang Panagbenga.
It should be a whole year Panagbenga.
Oh, that's right. So we also address to tourism and at the same time decongest the city of Baguio. You invite people like 1 to 2 million in the month of February. What do you expect? People of Baguio will not even go out anymore because it will take you 1 hour just to pass through the center.
Tama po.
Yun po ang ating concern. Kaya let's go back to the old concept. Huwag yung pera. Yung pera, pag tayo nag-focus lang, pinag-aawayan pa nga ng mga officials natin ang tungkol sa pera.
Tama.
Whereas if we are able to support itong barangays natin to become more creative, come up with permanent beautification program na build out of the plants and the flowers, we don't have to campaign for people to come. They will come any time of the year and enjoy nature. That's what Baguio City is known for. Hindi dapat city of
City of flowers. When you look for flowers, there's no flowers.
Yeah.
My God.
From sunflowers naging bubong ng mga bahay ang makikita mo. Wala ng kahoy, wala ng sunflower, and therefore pati yung ating weather and ating mga klima ay hindi na ganong kasaya na pagpunta sa Baguio. So yun po ang ating nirarally. That's why even just 3 years of managing the city, I believe that if we start somewhere, we will be able to go forward.
Agree ako po. Hindi po madali, but we really have to start somewhere.
Yes.
And to start now. Kasi kung hindi pa ngayon, lalong walang mangyayari.
That's right.
Alright, okay. Mayor Jomol, ano pa ho ang mga nais nyong solusyon ng problema sa Baguio City na pag ikaw ay naupo bilang alkalde, ayun po ang gagawin ninyo?
Nung tayo ay namamasyal, nakikita natin yung mga needs ng tao na yun nga, sinasayang natin ng pera, hundreds of millions, and yet nakikita natin yung poverty. Gusto natin i-alleviate yan. We may not be able to come across with the people becoming rich, but at least nobody should be hungry. As I said nga, yung pagkain, yung health nila, we intend to get mobile clinics. We can start at 5, roaming around the city. Kasi ang sa atin is preventive nga. We want to prevent diseases, so we need to distribute to support the Department of Health distributing vaccines, and also senior citizens having a problem about their maintenance pills. So, complete with OB-GYN, helping women, giving them free consultation sa kanilang pagbubuntis para naman wala sanang mortality ng mga women at saka yung mga anak nila. So we're trying to cover health and also in education. Pag sinabi ng Constitution na free elementary and high school education, wala na dapat binabayaran na miscellaneous fee. Dapat may counterpart naman ang local government.
Yeah.
Kung maaari nga, provide food to the children so that nasisiguro natin ng ating mga anak ay makakagraduate. How can we expect them to graduate if they're hungry from their home, walang pagkain?
Tama.
So, if we value education, since it is also a means of solving the problem of poverty, then we must invest as a city in seeing to it that they are well, they are well molded, they are physical fit. So dapat lahat ng physical fitness and pagkain ay napoprovide sa ating mga children.
Apo. All right. That's your health program, Mayor. At sa edukasyon, napakahalaga pong magkasama po yan kasi I agree that kahit may libre kang edukasyon, kung gutom po ang mga estudyante papasok, they can never focus on the studies. And perhaps pagka laging ito, baka titigil na lang yan. Apo.
Kaya nga, kung minsan nakikita lang natin itong mga medical dental na provide na program during campaign period. After that, wala na. Kaya nga sa atin, mas permanent yung mobile clinic that will coordinate with Baguio General Hospital. Marami akong alam ng mga doctors na gustong tumulong. Meron din ako nang meet ng mga kabataan, like mga samaang Ilocano, wanting to donate blood but they do not know how and they do not know the importance. So, itong mobile clinic, lahat yan magko-coordinate yan so that we can even have blood banks so that we have blood available anytime na may nangangailangan. So, that will complete a health program para sa atin. And the livelihood program, isa sa mga inayawang ko sa City of Baguio is yung privatization. Pinrivatize nila ang CR. Dati ang CR is a public run by the city, kaya libre sa lahat. Ngayon, it's being run by a corporation na puro singil and our senior citizens are not even given free
CR man lang, libre sana, no?
Kasi it will also contribute to our health problem yan. Mga senior citizen, they need that very much and we are supposed to provide it for free. Including minors, at least 10-year-old and below, dapat libre mga yan. So, yan ang masama sa privatization. Ngayon, itong kalsada natin, pinrivatize nila sa isang corporation na mag-pay parking siya. Kaya hindi nagbayad ng share sa City of Baguio. Iniisip ko, pwede naman palang pagkapera ng kalsada. Bakit hindi sa mga out-of-school youth natin na naghahanap ng pera para makapag-aral, naghahanap ng pera para may uniforme sila? Hopefully, we will have a boxer like Manny Pacquiao later on if we give them the opportunity to make money out of the streets. Kung wala tayong pera na gobyerno, at least yung facility tulad ng streets, ibigay natin sa mga nangangailangan. Hindi sa mga businessmen.
In fact, Mayor, they are violating the law. The roads, the streets should be beyond the commerce of man. So, they themselves are violating the law. So, tama ka, we need creative people to run the government.
Yeah, we can violate the law if it is for the good of the people. Yun nga sabi natin, it should be beyond the commerce of men. Pero ginawa na nila yan, hindi pa binigay sa tao.
Ayun ang mas masakit.
Binigay pa sa korporasyon para yumaman.
Sino bang may-ari ng korporasyon na yan? So, alam niyo, pagkaganyan kasi lagi ang takbo ng nakikita natin na may mga nakaupo dyan na pansariling interest.
Tama.
Hindi para sa bayan.
Sa CR, sa kalsada, sa palengke.
Pera lahat.
Nakita mo yung palengke. I'm nothing against Center Mall, but that used to be a part of the market and then there were so many displaced people kasi nasunog yan. Tapos ang promise ng gobyerno, makakabalik kayo. Ngayon yung palengke naman naibigay sa Uniwide, dapat tanggalin na natin ang kontrata with Uniwide so that we can infuse money. We can ask loans to build, operate, and then have it be transferred. Ibigay natin sa mga vendors for them to build the market in accordance with a plan that is suitable for everybody. Kasi nga, if you privatize it again, like Uniwide, which is actually bankrupt already, it will become inaccessible to the poor vendors who just survive out of their trade. Kaya yun ang ating ayaw na pangyayari. At one time, they wanted to privatize athletic ball. And mabuti na
Mabuti
lang at
hindi natuloy yun. Apo.
So it's now being developed because of the initiative of our Congressman Nicasio
Baka
Alipi.
biglang maisipan nila i-privatize ang City Hall, Mayor.
Yun nga inisip ko noon. Why not private? Pati operation ng basura. They privatize it actually, but this corporation na nakakuha and then they were able to collect 128 million sa kanilang makina. Walang nagagawa. So, yan ang masama sa isang gobyerno na puro privatization, puro negosyo ang iniisip. Kaya tuloy ang ating problema hindi nalulutas.
Bakit pa may gobyerno kung puro privatized na privately run services ito na where are the monies going na? Ibig sabihin, kolekta ng kolekta, business permits, lahat-lahat na may bayad. Saan napupunta pa yung pera?
That's right.
Di ba? So, pakaisipin po ninyo mga ginigilo natin tagapanood sa Baguio City. Ano? So, Mayor, ipasagot ko muna sa iyo itong isang survey question natin before you talk again to your constituents. Let's go up first. Ano ba talaga ang problema? Porma ng gobyerno, I'm telling this kanina, the national government is pushing for federalism, shifting from presidential to federal form of government. Ano ba, ikaw, personal opinion po ninyo siya, because they wanted to push this everywhere, in all LGUs, and you will face this for sure pag ikaw ay naapo po sa City Hall. Gusto nilang maging federal lang sistema. Kayo po, anong pananaw po ninyo? Ano ba ang problema talaga? Porma ba ng gobyerno o problema yung mga nagpapatakbo ng gobyerno?
Ang sa akin po ay napakabata ng ating demokrasya. Hindi pa natin nabibigyan ng sufficient chance na ma-strengthen. Gusto na naman natin palitan. Ang mahirap sa federalism is that hindi dapat manggaling din sa taas. Dapat ang federalism po ay manggagaling sa baba. Tulad ng clamor ng Cordillera na maging autonomous region.
Yeah.
It's not the law that will make us Cordillerans, kako. It's us people.
Yes.
So if we start to accept each other as Cordillerans, we have the hope. And if the government will also recognize that right, na tayo maging Cordilleran, then we should be allowed to live as Cordilleran first before we get to become an autonomous region. Like, we cannot be a federal state if in our area we are not yet living as a federal type of government.
Yeah.
Even the history of America na isang federal state, they were strong states individually muna.
Yes.
And then they agreed to federate.
Yes.
Hindi yung from the top, you try to spread out and then force everybody to survive on what they can produce. Ang sa atin is, you support the local government unit in order to become independent. Ang ginawa naman nila is naging era-dependent tayo sa sharing.
Yeah.
Ang masama doon, kaya tayo nagkaklamor ng autonomy is yung taxation system. Ang pera nanggagaling sa Benguet and Baguio. Pero ang opisina ng mga korporasyon nasa Makati.
Yeah.
Pinapayaman natin ang Makati, walang production ang Makati except corporation offices.
The headquarters.
So yun ang dapat tignan ng national government na putulin yon na huwag payamanin mga area na hindi productive. So we need to change maybe the taxation system,
I agree.
not the other form of government.
Agree ako. Kami were from TVL by Mayor, no?
I see.
We are the host of the geothermal operations.
Correct.
And yet we're not benefiting from it because taxes are being paid in Makati.
Correct.
So
That's why
I agree with you.
That's why we belong to the poorest provinces dito sa Benguet, sa 17 poorest provinces, not because we are really poor, but because the taxes that we produce is being given to Makati.
Tama.
Diba? That's the inequality in terms of...
We need Congressman Aliping for that.
Yes. That's right. That's why we need them.
We need them. Okay. Basahin ko lang itong ilang comment, Mayor. Nakapalakpak si naka-sign na ganito si Merlin Sumegeng Parting. Lori Jean Silembria Astadan, good morning po, sabi niya. Tent maker, freelancer, it is our time to make Baguio great again. Attorney Joe Molintas, the best mayor we never had. Wow, thank you, thank you.
Thank you sa mga comments and support ng mga ating
Nakakataba ng
kababayan.
puso pagka ganun na, Mayor. So, Sir, I'm giving you 2 minutes to talk again to the constituents. Ilang araw na lamang po ay election na. Go ahead, sir.
Tama. So I thank this station for giving me a time to introduce myself. I'm a Baguio boy, and my concern is for Baguio to be able to be rebuilt into what we want. That's why we want democracy to be used in fighting corruption. We want democracy to be able to unite the people towards what we all aspire for. Going back to the beauty that it had before it was overdeveloped. Yun lang po ang aking simple na programa, maging malinis, malikhain ng mga tao at magandang siyudad ng Baguio. It is not actually a very simple thing to do, but with us going already towards being a senior citizen, that is what we want to see. And therefore, I ask for the support of everyone who believe in these ideals to not only to vote for me, but to campaign for me. As you can see, we are the only one who is not putting it, too much tarpaulins. We want people to be the one to speak for our behalf because of our program. Na you cannot see that program with the other candidates. You see them only through the tarpaulin with no specific program na gagawin sa ikabubuti ng siyudad ng Baguio. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Attorney Jose Jomol Molintas, kandidato po sa pagka-alkalde ng Baguio City, for gracing our program, Kamaong Asero, Plataforma episode. Balikan na natin yung ating issues sa araw pong ito. Paredes, binuska ni Duterte. Kasong isasampa naman ni Chris Aquino kay Nico Falses, iniatras na. Arnel Ignacio nakapagtapos na raw sa kanyang kolehiyo at long last. Pagsisimula naman ng halalan sa India, 4 na agad ang patay. Sana wag naman ito mangyari sa Pilipinas. Kasal naman daw ni Sunshine Cruz kay Cesar Montano, annulled na. At long last din, napakatagal din itong nag-away sa korte pa. Ban ng abortion sa Korea, illegal daw ayon sa korte. Sa lalawigan po ng Benguet, hihigpitan daw ng Benguet ang proteksyon at pangalaga sa mga wildlife. Sa lungsod po ng Baguio, sa Baguio City po ibibigyan ng discount ang paggamit ng sanitary napkins. Mga kaibigan, ayan. So muli pasalamatan ko muna ang dalawang mamang naging espesyal na bisita po natin sa first part ng ating program. Konsehal Butch Mascareñas, who will be representing the labor sector sa City Council. At sa ating final gap, Attorney Jose Jomol Molintas, kandidato po sa pagkalkalde. Sa dinami-dami po ng naririnig kong nagpapaliwanag ng mga plano at doon po sa may mga track record na ang mamang ito, Jomol, Attorney Jomol, ang naramdaman po natin ng sinseridad. So kung tayo naman po ang sasagot sa ating pangmalawakang survey question, ano ba talagang problema? Porma ba ng gobyerno o yung mga nagpapatakbo ng gobyerno? Ang gobyerno po natin ay napakaraming nakaupo na mga mandarambong, mga mapagsamantala, ginagamit po ang pwesto para sa kanilang sariling interes, nagpupwesto ng sarili para yumaman, perpetuating themselves para proteksyonan ang kanilang iba't ibang interes. Most especially ang kanilang livelihood, business interest, mga kaibigan. My worry is if the same people will run the next form of government that we are talking about, the federal form of government, how can we expect a different result? Di po ba? Kahit baguhin po natin ang forma ng gobyerno, kung parehas na mga tao, parehas na mga kriminal ang pag-iisip. Kriminal because when you spend money illegally, Kung kinurakot mo ang pondo ng publiko na hindi man para sa iyo, ginamit mo sa pansarili mo, pinalusot mo sa kung ano-anong pamamaraan para mapunta sa bulsa mo, it's a crime. Di mo ba? And using your position to favor your corporations, paboran ang mga negosyo ninyo, paboran ang hanap buhay ng pamilya nyo. Illegal yan eh. Kung pare-parehas na mga tao, ito mga taong problema natin ngayon na kung titingnan natin, most of them, sabihin ko na 95% may kasong nakasampa sa ombudsman, may kasong pinoproblema sa Sandigan Bayan, if the same people will be in place during the federal system of government. Sinasabi po namin, parehas din ang mangyayari. So, kampanya muna laban sa korupsyon, ang ating pagtulong-tulungan sapagkat kapag wala na pong nangungurakot sa pondong bayan, ang pera po na nakalaan sa mga serbisyo makakarating sa tao. Pag sinabi nating livelihood, kakaskade pababa, mararamdaman ng tao. Pag sinabing programang pangkalusugan, may gamot ang mga hospital na dadatnan ang mga taong pupunta sa hospital. May doktor. Di po ba? At pag sinabing magandang ekonomiya sapagkat walang kurakot sa pamahalaan, it will translate to food in every table. Napakahirap mangumbinse na maganda ang ating lipunan, ang ating ekonomiya. Kung nasa figure lamang, nasa statistics mga kaibigan yan nakikita. At hindi po nakikita sa hapagkainan ng mga ordinaryong tao. Mga kaibigan, marami pong salamat sa inyo pong lahat. Pangalan po ng buong puwersa ng Leader News Philippines at ng Pinoy Extreme Channel. Ang ating programa po ay pinilipad ni Clarence Andaya. Nakaremote pa rin sa atin ang ating Operations Head Engineer Oliver Licop. Creative Director Mark Anthony Reynoso. Creative Producer Carlo Reyes. Ako pa rin po ang inyong Kamaong Asero, si Errol Nakame, para po sa episode na Plataforma. Maraming salamat. God bless Pilipinas.
Inyong napanood ang mga batas na banat ni Errol Nakame sa Kamaong Asero. Abangang muli dito sa Leader News Philippines.